Welcome to Forbes Talks Shop, the series where we sit down with fascinating people to uncover the products, tools, and rituals that power their success. I'm Kim Peiffer, and in each episode, we go beyond the surface to learn what really keeps top performers inspired, productive, and balanced. Today, we're joined by Tom Gozney, founder and pizza maker extraordinaire. We'll talk about the products that fuel his workdays, the tools that keep him at the top of his game, and the unexpected essentials he carries every day. Tom,
Hey.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah.
Tell me what you've got going on these days and what you're most excited about with Gozney.
Yes, it's been an incredible journey with Gozney. I feel like we're maybe 15 years in, but I still feel like we're in sort of scrappy startup phase. It's kind of how it feels, the culture of the business. We're like an incredibly exciting juncture in the brand's growth. I've spent the last 15 years building the business, but Gozney essentially as a brand was born in 2017. So I had a couple of different businesses in the same sector before that. We launched some new products recently. October next month, we've got like the newest evolution of one of our flagship products coming out, which has already been an incredible success in pre-order. So that's like really, really exciting. We've got like the new evolution of Gozney products coming out. And then next year, we are taking a really big step in going into new verticals in outdoor cooking.
Really?
So the brand is not going to be known as a pizza oven brand. We want to become the defining premium outdoor cooking brand. And that's the journey we're going on, yeah.
Cool. And how did you start Gozney for background?
So yeah, I had like not a very traditional start. I didn't really do well in school or education. I got expelled from all the schools that I went to. I was a bit of a naughty kid. I had troubles with drug and alcohol addiction. And so at the age of 21, I went into rehab, spent a year in rehab in South Africa, and then I came out of treatment and I was desperately trying to find community. You know, all my friends were out partying and I was like, that's not my life anymore.
Yeah.
It's like forced to grow up a little bit beyond my years. And so I started cooking as a way of escaping, and like feeding people was community, and getting people around a table was my way of now socializing. And one evening we made pizzas, and the process of like opening the dough together was super fun. We cooked them in the conventional oven and they were just a bit soggy and rubbish. So that evening I said to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, Laura, I said, I want to buy a pizza oven for the garden. She was like, you're an idiot. We've got no money. Like, we're absolutely broke. Like, we're not buying a pizza oven for the garden. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll just make one. So I persuaded her to let me buy the materials. We were broke. And I built a brick oven in the garden. And I guess the most amazing thing happened to me, Kim, was I was at such an interesting, vulnerable crossroads in my life. And I was so scared of social isolation, telling my friends that they couldn't drink around me. So I let everybody drink around me and do all that stuff. But I was super vulnerable. Built an oven in the garden. And when I lit it, something transformed in my life. Like, I loved cooking next to fire, but everyone was infatuated by it. And over the course of the next coming weeks, like, all my friends stopped bringing beers and started bringing toppings. And it just
Really?
naturally transformed my social dynamic. So the oven was this like beacon of hope and purpose for me. It wasn't a business when we started, but then I found like such solace in it and purpose, and I felt connected to it, and it was like safety for me because it created this environment. So that was when there was a light bulb moment that I had to build it into a business and share the art of cooking with wood fire with more people. But it was actually more about sharing the overarching like social energy that the oven produced.
That's incredible. What a story.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And then tell me about the new products that you have launching just now. I know you have some exciting things.
Yeah, so in 2021 we launched the Dome, which was this sort of, it was my perfect expression of taking our commercial oven heritage. We used to sell professional ovens in the UK. We were market leader in the UK for pro ovens. It was taking that sort of like design intent and aesthetic, and I kind of like to say, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I am inspired by the brand, but I kind of wanted to have the oven be like, if Apple and a 300-year-old Neapolitan oven had a baby, it would be Gozney. And so I wanted it to be like modern, innovative, progressive, but rooted in the heritage of where our ovens came from. So the Dome was launched, and it was like an aesthetic that was founded from an old Neapolitan oven, but it had like intuitive controls. It was a very modern and progressive design. And so we launched that in 2021, had exceptional success at launch. We did $8 million in the first day on the website when we launched it. It was crazy. Just we did like a viral Instagram launch. Didn't even really spend any money on the launch, but we created such demand for the product, and it has truly become like a sort of icon of a product in the outdoor cooking space. I think fusing my overarching passion for being design-led and producing something that people want to leave on show, that was always like the design intent. And I really wanted something that, outdoor cooking is such a male-dominated sector, and I actually really wanted something that was, like universal, that women would love to buy just as much as men. And so 40% of our customers are female today, which is amazing. So I feel like I'm doing my job as a designer.
Absolutely.
So next month, we've got the next gen evolution of the Dome coming out. It's bigger, it has more features. We've refined a lot of the things that consumers have asked us for feedback on. So super excited to get it out into the market.
Is the Dome your bestseller?
Yeah, it's the bestseller. Okay. Yeah, it always has. But it's the hero product. It's the bestseller, very closely followed by the arcs that are below that, which are like mini versions of the Dome. Yeah.
Awesome. And what's your favorite?
Gen 2. I can't stop using it, man. I know, I come home from work, I use ovens all the time. We've got an R&D lab at work, so they're always getting me to test stuff. But literally, when we've got the Dome Gen 2 at home, I've been using it every night, cooking everything in it. It's so fun to use.
What do you cook the most in it?
Pizza. I'm obsessed with pizza. I have to have breaks to control my weight and then do sprints at the gym. And so I'm dip in and out of dough sprinting, growing, gym sprinting, reducing. But yeah, I love making pizza in it. But I've been really leaning into using it for wood fire. So we've got this sort of new innovation in it, which is a controlled air kit, which pushes oxygen into a wood fire. And it gives you a dial to turn. So it's really easy to use. It's basically wood fire with the ease of gas controls. So it's really, really great piece of innovation for people that want to go into wood that might be intimidated by it. And it's just when you use wood, it's so much more sensory. Having a wood fire, it feels much more romantic. It slows you down a bit more. And the smells and the taste, all that stuff is great.
Let's get into your routine a little bit, because you're busy, you're an entrepreneur, you're all over the place trying to expand your brand and make it successful, which you have been successful at doing. Let's start with your mornings. Walk me through your morning routine and what's the first thing you grab for in the morning?
Yeah, so I generally get up a bit earlier than my family. I've got 3 little kids in the house, so I try and carve out 10 minutes for myself of quiet time. And when I was in treatment, part of my sort of relapse prevention plan and recovery was always, we used to do a gratitude list in the very early days. So I would go to bed at night, I would write down things that I was grateful for. I would read them as the first thing to set me up right for the day. Actually, I don't do that physically anymore, but that's sort of inbuilt in my thinking. And I actually adopted, going through some stressful periods at work and having highs and lows, I adopted doing something called somatic tracking, which is just sitting in your body, allowing thoughts, allowing stress and anxiety to come into your body, and sort of accepting it, not being scared of it, and processing. So I like to sit quietly for 10 minutes. I get an Earl Grey cup of tea. I'm a classic English person. I have my cup of tea. And then the day starts, and I'm basically the internal family barista. I have 3 little kids that come and are very demanding for their drinks that they like a specific way. I make my wife a cup of tea. She has that in bed. That's my general routine. And then I go to the coffee machine before the gym.
And then you get into your work day. So tell me, do you work from home? Do you have an office? What is that setup like for you at work?
Yes, I have worked at home a little bit, but I'm more and more in the office now. So we have an office in the UK and an office in Utah. I'm sometimes out in Utah, but predominantly in the UK. Office is a great space. It's an open plan space. I have my own office, but I generally like to be in the mix with everyone. We sort of got co-working hot desks. We've got an R&D lab there. We've got an internal restaurant in the office. We've got chill out areas, pool tables, all that cool stuff. So really fun. But I'd really like to mingle with the team. So I like to interact with the team, find out what their pain points are, what they're stressing about, how we can continue to build culture. And I kind of really like to be inclusive and just be in there and be a real human being. Yeah. Which is super important.
Of course. And is there any specific product that fuels your success throughout the day?
Yeah, I think, I'm undiagnosed ADHD, so I get distracted. I can get distracted and I have lots of ideas and my brain moves really quickly. So I really like to attach myself to things that don't ping notifications at me all the time if I'm trying to be creative or solve problems. So there's a tablet that I use that doesn't allow email or messages called a Remarkable, which I've used for a few years now. It's basically just an Illustrator's digital notebook that you can draw ideas in. You can email stuff out of it, so you can send it to your email, but nothing comes in. So I find if I'm trying to problem solve, I would go to that and I kind of put my phone in the drawer and just get away from that for a minute. So the Remarkable's been really helpful for me.
That's awesome. I know the pings and the notifications,
Yeah.
constant interruptions.
I know.
It's rough.
It's crazy.
So if you're going in it's a big day at the office, you have a big investor meeting or some sort of shoot, you're really trying to like set yourself up for success here. What's your outfit look like? What's your wardrobe for the day? You seem like you have a pretty typical style. Do you switch it up?
I don't do suits. I've never really done so. I mean, in the early days when we used to have board meetings and I felt like I had to be formal, like I was too scared to be my own identity. But now, we have a value in the brand that is respectfully irreverent. So we don't take stuff too seriously. We don't conform to norms. I would if I go smarter, I like sort of elevated streetwear, but I'll put on some loud shoes, like some off-white Volts or something bright, like bright green or bright yellow. Just I need to keep a little bit of that irreverence alive, even if I'm going smart.
And still staying true to your personal style.
100%. Yeah.
And then you travel a lot for work, as I know you're headed to the airport next. So what are some things that you always have with you when you're traveling that really help you?
I've become like really ritualistic in being organized. I get stressed out about traveling. I get stressed out about losing stuff and all that stuff. So like I'm absolutely obsessed, and I'm, with my Rimowa suitcases. I just love them from a design perspective.
They're so beautiful.
They're so beautiful. So my Rimowas are like a staple part of my traveling journey, but I've gone through multiple different sort of travel bags that go on the top of my Rimowa, and that's like my sort of little command center when I travel. I have everything in the pockets, systematic, everything goes in the same place every time I travel. It keeps my stress down. It allows me to know that my passport's in a certain place, like iPad, computer, all that stuff. So I currently use a Rains bag.
Rains?
Yeah, the brand Rains. And I've really, really, it's kind of matches, it's like matte black, it kind of matches my Rimowa. It clips onto the top of it, and it's got like a compartment for everything. It's perfectly designed, so I love that.
And then let's get into creativity a little bit. So creativity is a huge part of your job. That's how you came up with the idea for the Gozney in the first place, right?
Yeah.
How do you fuel your creativity, and what does that look like? Where do you find inspiration?
Yeah, so I love listening. I love solo travel is really good for me. If I'm traveling in an airport and I'm doing like monotonous things, when you've just got to go through security or you're sitting in a lounge, I love having my music on. I'll always wear like oversized hoodie when I travel, my hood up, hide from the world. I kind of don't want to be seen, and I'll have my Remarkable. And I kind of just like listen to my hip hop. I love my hip hop. Hip hop is a good source of like creativity for me. I find like all of my ideas come when I'm either driving somewhere, I'm like walking alone in the woods, I'm reflecting, but it's not like I don't ever block my diary out and have 2 hours for creative thinking.
Yeah,
it just
you
doesn't
have
work.
to do it on the fly.
I kind of have to like nurture the life with my kids. It's busy, do the work thing, and then try and carve out an hour or two to just go and wander off alone. And it's those times where like the creativity really flows, and that's when I capture all my ideas and then build on them later.
When you're listening to your hip hop and traveling, are there headphones that you stick to that you love?
Yeah, I've got like my Apple AirPods. Yeah, they're like my go-to. I just lost them. I left them in an Uber yesterday. And then I went and spoke to someone the other day that told me that Apple are bringing the new ones out on Friday. So I can't even buy them. It was a Wednesday when I lost them, and I'm like, I now can't even go and replace them until Friday. So
you gotta wait.
I've got no hip hop in my ears. It's a sad time.
I hope you're going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay. I'm going to make it, I think.
And then, are you a book person?
Do you know what?
Or a podcast person?
Do you know what? It's a really interesting conversation. I've never really shared this too much, but I find like consistently ingesting content, I find it overwhelming. So I kind of I'm like a kind of like a sponge. I surround myself with people that really inspire me. I make sure that I network with people that really inspire me. I ask specific questions that relate to me. I kind of don't have time to sit through a 2.5 hour podcast.
Yeah.
I put it on 3x the speed or 2x the speed, then it's too fast and I stop listening. I kind of, if there's ones that really, really hit, I'll kind of force myself to sit through sometimes if there's really good value, but I like listening to shorter form content. That's what really captures me. Otherwise my brain wanders a bit too much. And I'll read some books. I can get hyper focused on books if there's a topic that I really need to understand, but I think once the business has got to a certain size and maybe we've achieved some of our goals, maybe there's a point in my life where I'll read a book on a sun lounger and relax. It's not now.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. It feels like I need it a little bit. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so outside of your day-to-day, which is probably way more than 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and you have 3 young kids, what are some other hobbies of yours that you enjoy? What do you do in your downtime?
Yeah, so we have been really fortunate. We bought a house on the south coast of England in the woods, which is really, really lovely. We've got a few acres of woodland. And so I do cool, fun jobs for the kids. That's how I really liked it. I just climbed a 10-meter high tree and hung a swing in a tree for the kids. My boy is obsessed with building bonfires in the woods, so I'll just escape to the woods, get out in nature, really reconnect with the children. Like the phone goes, we get our wellies on. You know, do you call them wellies here?
We do not, but I know that term.
What are they called here?
They're just rubber boots.
Rubber boots.
Rain
yeah,
boots?
We call them wellies
Rain
in
boots,
England.
yeah.
It feels like an odd name when you say
It's
wellies.
very odd.
Yeah, it's really odd, isn't it? So yeah, we get our rubber boots on. We go and hang out in the forest. We've got quad bikes. My little boy's got his own sort of mini quad bike. I've got a big one. We go and do some little trails in the woods. Just relax, hang out with the kids.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And is there anything else when you're feeling very stressed that helps you kind of unwind and recharge? Is there like a go-to?
Yeah, there is. There is. And I found it recently, and I'm not going to jump on the cold plunge trend. I haven't actually ever done it, and it's been wave of social, but I did it for the first time.
You've never cold plunged?
I did it for the first time like a month ago, and it was life-changing.
Really?
It was like, I absolutely loved it, and I didn't think I would like it, but that's not the answer that I'm going to tell you, because I've only just done it, so I can't use that as a credible answer. But a friend of mine has built, two friends of mine have built a sauna company, and they build these incredibly high-end luxury saunas. And fortunately, he gave me a good mates rates deal on one. So we've got this incredible wood-fired sauna in the woods. It's a brand called Out of the Valley, and they are just like the absolute go-to. Very premium, very beautifully designed, beautifully all handmade, and sneaking off up to the woods, and there's a big glass side of the sauna, and then getting the wood fire built in it, and just doing, and it's got a shower built into it as well. So you go from like sauna to the cold shower and do that. There's a bit of contrast therapy. I kind of feel like I don't like jumping on a trend because everyone's doing it on social, but I've started doing it and I love it.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I mean, the cold plunge I struggle with, but the sauna.
Do you know what? I jumped in the cold plunge like a month ago for the first time, and like the first time I got in, I could do 10 seconds, and I was like, how does anybody do this? And then we kept doing it, and I built it quickly. I was like amazed with the resilience that you can build around doing it.
I need to build some more resilience for that. Maybe not going into winter is the best time, but
not going into winter.
All right, so you're doing the sauna. This all sounds lovely, by the way.
Yeah.
Great way to like unwind, recharge. Tell me about your evening routine a little bit too. It's probably a lot of putting kids to bed, getting things organized. And
a very noisy house. Kids refusing to go to bed. Suddenly they're hungry. Suddenly they need a wee. Suddenly they need a drink of water. There's probably 45 minutes of demands after bedtime with the kids. My wife and I usually hit the sofa probably about 8 o'clock. Looking rather dishevelled after like wrestling the kids down to bed. I really like to catch up with my wife. I have a very busy working day. The kids take their chunk of our energy, and then Laura and I, we quite often like to talk about our wider aspirations, our wider goals for like why we're getting up and working this hard and doing what we do. So we're really, really excited about the notion of like being able to travel with the kids when they're young and going and adventuring. And we love the business that we're running, but I think we also recognize that there's more to life than the monotony of being on the treadmill every day, right? And so whilst I love the brand, love the business, love all of our team that are within the business, having those glimpses and those goals to go out on an adventure and go to Indonesia for a month, well, that's the kind of stuff we plan, and that's the kind of stuff we talk about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And any other sneak peeks you want to give us as far as what's coming in 2026?
I can't be prescriptive about it, because I'll get in too much trouble. But I guess like that overarching idea and what I said to you earlier about like Apple and an oven had a baby and it was Gozney. I look at Apple as such a source of inspiration for how they think about product, an ecosystem of products. And I guess like I've applied some of that methodology to my thinking in Gozney. We were a pizza oven brand. We are a pizza oven brand, but I want to use that like incredible design-led approach to produce different cooking products in the garden and unify them through that like visual architecture. And then like the overarching idea is that we can provide something new for a consumer that they haven't been able to do before, unify it with a beautiful design, and then arguably become the defining brand of the garden.
Was there a specific prominent person that reached out to use one of your ovens that you were like, wow?
Yeah, we've put like ovens in LeBron's. I met LeBron. I went to his house and had lunch with LeBron once, which was really odd. I'm just like, I'm a pizza oven guy, man. What am I doing here? Imposter syndrome was 10 out of 10. Ovens have gone into Jay-Z's, place in Malibu. We've put some in some really wild places. It's really cool, man. Just like going from an idea as a recovering addict, I want to build a pizza oven in the garden to eat more pizza, to then like meeting these people. It's crazy, that our products have gone into those places. So I feel really proud of that.
What about chefs too?
Yeah, so we've just got an amazing network of chefs that have truly become dear friends to me. We have some incredible ambassadors that have really like lent into Gozney and built it. Chris Bianco is an amazing pizziola down in Phoenix, Arizona. We've got Frank Pinello, who's like the OG New York pizza dude from the pizza show on Munchies, and like Matty Matheson, Bradley Owen. We've just got some amazing names, like very big cultural personalities that have, just become really good friends of the brand. So it's been great.
Now we're gonna go into a fun game of this or that. You're gonna crush it.
Okay, so you're gonna give me the answers, and I'm just gonna pick one.
Yes,
okay,
you just have to pick.
Easy.
Okay, the first one is weekends unplugged or weekends catching up?
Unplugged.
Pen and paper to-do list or productivity app?
Pen and paper.
Pineapple or anchovies on pizza?
Anchovies all day long.
Oh,
my God, they're my favorite. That's just like a no-brainer for me. I literally have like tomato base and anchovies. That's it. That's like my perfect.
That's it? That's your go-to pizza?
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh no.
But I have 120-hour fermented dough, which the dough does all the magic, and a good olive oil.
Does it hide the taste of the anchovies? All right. I think I already know the answer to this one then. The more cheese, the better, or just a dash?
Just a dash.
Wood, gas, or charcoal?
Wood.
Fitness tracker or statement watch?
I could say fitness tracker, but I've got my statement watch on. My dad gave me this. This is my 20. I've gone red. I don't know why. I'm feeling embarrassed.
Statement watch.
Statement watch.
Direct flight or scenic train ride?
Direct flight.
Podcast or audiobook?
Audiobook.
Handshake or hug?
Hug all day long. We shook hands, but I felt like, is it too awkward to hug you right now? You look so nice, and I didn't want to like impose myself on you.
Hugs.
The first time we met.
Street food or fine dining?
Street food.
Phone call or text?
Voice note.
Voice note?
Yeah, voice note.
Wait.
I'm a voice note man.
DIY project or hire a pro?
DIY with the kids.
Now, I already know the answer to this one, but ice bath or hot tub?
Ice bath.
And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all of your tips and tricks and telling us more about your amazing brand. We're so excited for what's in store for the future for Gozney.
Thanks so much for having me.
Check out Tom's favorite products in the description, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes of Forbes Talks Shop.